Thank you, Eunice. Thank you. So, oh boy, I'm nervous. And I have to admit, I'm a little bit embarrassed as well to be up here, to be honest with you. So, Eunice, stay right there, don't go anywhere. Yeah? So, when Eunice approached me last week, right, he said, Feroz, we set up this gala. We're going to have a couple of hundred people in the room. Would you like to say a few words? And I said to Eunice, look, I was horrified, right, at that request. I said, Eunice, there's no way I'm getting up on that stage and talking in front of 200 people. It's not going to happen, right? There's no amount of money you could pay me to get up there and talk. And so Eunice is a smart guy, right? Eunice backed off. He backed off, but he came back up to me a couple of hours later. He came back up to me and he said, Feroz, look, I've had to think about this, right? And I think you're the right man for the job. I think you should go up on that stage and you deserve to be up there. Don't do it for me. This isn't an honor. Just get up there and say a few words for everyone. Right? So that's what happened. So Eunice is very smart in rephrasing things and getting his way. So I went away and I thought about this, genuinely thought about this, yeah, and I thought, if I get up on that stage, what am I going to say? What am I going to say to all these people? And whilst I was thinking about that, I started thinking about Nestor's vision and Nestor's mantra, right? What's Nestor's mantra? And these guys have said it a few times today, and it's going to sound a bit cliched now, but Nestor's mantra really is about empowerment, and that's the reason I'm up here, right? And when I thought about empowerment, I thought, I don't have a choice. I have to get up on this stage, right? I have to get up there and empower myself. I have to take the challenge on, right? So here I am, yeah, so I took on the challenge. And the next question really, I guess, is, who am I, right? So my name is obviously up on this board, but I think it makes sense to tell everyone a little story. And I'll try and keep it brief, and I'll try and engage you guys and keep it entertaining. Bit hungry, yeah. I mean, the starters didn't do much for us, did they, really? Come on. Bit of mozzarella cheese. But, no, really, the story really starts about 5 or 6 years ago, and I won't go day by day, yeah? I won't go day by day. But I was an accountant. I was working in a Big Four accountancy firm. I was an auditor. I was living the audit dream. And the man sitting over there holding the camera recording me so he can laugh at me later was also there. Wakas, can you get up, please? There's no way I'm going to have all the pain of this myself. Can you come and say hello to everyone? So, I told you I'd get you. So Wakas is my co-founder, yeah? And I'll tell you this story. So 2018, working at this professional services firm, just done our exams, and we soon realized that actually this wasn't for us. Well, I soon realized this wasn't for me. And it wasn't because I didn't enjoy the work. Yeah, I enjoyed the work. And it wasn't because I didn't want to progress in this firm. It's just my interests were no longer aligned, right? I wanted to do something a little bit different. And little did I know, Wakas was also having the same thoughts. We never actually spoke about it to each other. And this was at some point in 2018, yeah? And I remember walking into the canteen, and Wakas was sat over in the corner. He had lots of long hair back then. Is that right, Wakas? Lots of long hair. And he looked frazzled. He looked rattled, yeah, he looked rattled. And so I went over to him and I said, Wakas, what's going on? You look stressed. And he didn't say anything. He just looked at me right in my eyes, and he said 3 very profound words, yeah? He said, I am done. And I looked back at him and I said, so am I. So am I, right? And so we didn't know it at the time, but that's where we hatched our escape plan. Fast forward a couple of years, I'll keep it short and brief. Just before COVID, so probably January 2020, we were both married, not to each other, but we were both married. And both of our wives were expecting their first child, right? So they were both pregnant. So it was a delicate stage of our lives. And I remember we both made the decision to leave work. We were going to leave the stability and the guaranteed paycheck, yeah? And so we left just before COVID. Lo and behold, we didn't know COVID was going to hit us. And that first year was really, really tough for us, really tough. And it wasn't tough because we weren't making money, no. We were making the money. And it wasn't tough because we weren't winning clients or we weren't getting by. it was tough because we weren't getting the clients that we wanted to get. And that's what we were struggling with. And so we tried everything, right? We tried everything we could personally do. And one day we sat there and said, look, we need some guidance. We need to speak to someone. Who can we speak to, right? Who can guide us, give us some valuable advice. And that's where this man stepped in. Oh, yeah, Eunice, yeah, you. And I remember calling Eunice and saying, look, we've got this gig going, but we're struggling. We're struggling, right? We can't seem to get the work that we want. And I said, look, our mission statement is helping founders manage their finances, right? That's what we're trying to do, helping founders manage their finances. But we can't seem to get ourselves in front of these founders. So Eunice said, look, let's get off the call, get into my offices tomorrow, let's see what we can help you with. Now, Eunice is a friendly guy, right? Everyone that knows Eunice in this room, Eunice is a friendly guy. He's the first responder type of guy, right? So you call Eunice for help, he's going to help you. And if Eunice can't help you, he'll find someone in his network that can help you, yeah? And so we went into Eunice's offices. Eunice was sitting there. And surprisingly, Eunice didn't say much. He just sat there and we babbled at him for about half an hour, I'd say. About half an hour. And we said, look, we've got this thing going, we're struggling, etc. And Eunice said 3 very profound words to me, which he still says to this day. He said, that's very powerful, right? That's very powerful. And I knew at that moment, we'd got him. Yeah, the pitch had worked perfectly, and he's now a client. But no, so jokes aside, he said, that's very powerful. He said, this is what we're looking for at Nesta, but we can't seem to find it anywhere. And it seems as though no one can seem to find you guys either. So why don't you guys make your way into the office in a couple of weeks, right, he said, and we can get you going on some project pieces, yeah? Now, needless to say, that was probably the worst day of our lives. Yeah, taking on the engagement at Nesta was the worst decision we ever made. And so that's what we did, right? We went into Eunice's offices and we took the engagement on. And alhamdulillah, 2 years on now, yeah? 2 years on. We've built out the finance function at Nesta